Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard has been approved by the EU. The Microsoft proposed I've got $55 billion pounds here rather than the $69 billion that we had last time. Acquisition of Blizzard has been approved by the European Commission. The Commission acknowledges that Microsoft would have no incentive to pull Activision Blizzard games from PlayStation, but the purchase is still poses an issue to the competition cloud gaming market. They've also approved it in China. So the one country that hold out at the moment is the UK through the CMA that we've already reported on. I just don't pay the money. It's not worth the money. There's like 4 things that you can get out of them. It's not worth the money. They have destroyed themselves. Wait until you get in, look at the HR part of their business. Buy them up for like $7 billion. They're only worth, I don't even think they're worth that. But yes. So Microsoft are trying to do their damnedest, but they've still got that one holdout. So everyone's trying to apply pressure to the CMA and get them to release their objections to them buying it. I'll be honest with you, the objections make sense because they're just saying like the cloud gaming, because basically everything that goes on this, we've had this conversation, everything that goes on Games Pass at the moment seems to wind up shite. So if you put more stuff on there, it's going to be more shite. Halo, Redfall, there's no Gears of War. We should have a Gears of War game by now. Nothing like that. There's no incentive. I have no idea what they're going to do, because when these companies, because it's day one release, have to go out into the market and compete with everyone else, causes them to actually try and make a decent game. But if they're backed up by Games Pass and they've always got a chunk of cash backing them up, yeah, I know that Phil Spencer's turned around and said no Activision, no Xbox, pretty much. But they're not worth that amount of money. They really are not worth that amount of money. I could buy you an aircraft carrier and we could make more money out of that for $55 billion with support for the next 10 years. You know, we can go and invade some small countries, rob them of their natural resources. We'd make more money. It's simple. But they're dead certain on paying this ridiculous sum of money for them. So what do you think? Do you think it's going to go through, or do you think the CMA is just going to hold out, or do you think they'll capitulate?
I don't think that it'll end up going through. If the UK say no, they don't have a unanimous decision, so they can't go forward, can they?
No. Yeah.
It's strange that all three, the US, the UK, and the European, all saying, yeah, it's anti-competitive.
Well, and China, it's China, EU, and thing is saying it's fine, but it's the UK that's saying it's anti-competitive. So the USA makes sense because they just want money inside the USA, so it's their interests. China's probably been paid off, and probably the European Union's probably been paid off. And the problem with the CMA is they haven't been paid off. They're expecting that brown paper envelope to come soon. I'm joking. Don't sue me. Sue Nigel. He told me to say it. Maybe that is the case. It might be. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It could be the case.
It's not
my brown paper envelope's a bit light.
You're paying $55 billion. I need at least 1% to say yes.
Yeah. I think as I said, I think it's a bad purchase. I don't think they're worth the money. The Bethesda deal that they got was much better, considering the money they paid for it and all the IPs at the back end of that. The downside is that the studios at Bethesda are crap, and the Activision studios, you've got 4 decent studios, and all they do is make Call of Duty.
It's not.
So the diversification of gaming isn't there, and that bit kind of, as I said, that's why I don't think they're worth the money. Hold out, fucking collapse their stock a little bit, and I'm serious. You'll find what will happen is say this, they do, the CMA say yeah, it's fine, yeah, it'll go through, and then within about 3-4 months, you'll get all the Activision HR horror stories. They'll all come to light. The Microsoft person who will go in there and go through the HR part will be just like, how did this happen? Who the hell let this happen? Yeah, and they'll go through the whole thing. But if as I said, the other thing Microsoft could do is they could be clever and they could sell off the mobile bit. So King Candy Crush and all that stuff. They could sell those bits off to someone else, so they don't look like they've got such a big monopoly. A lot of fucking Blizzard stuff, I'll be honest with you. Because every time I hear anything Blizzard, it's just cack. Ever since they did the like Diablo mobile game launch, remember that? You guys not have phones? That one?
Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, it's like you don't have phones.
I played that. I played that
Yeah.
on my mobile, and I also downloaded it onto my laptop as well to have a go to see how it would work. It was a pretty shit game, to be honest. I got bored of it pretty quick.
Someone worked out you'd have to spend $500,000 to max out. It's just like that. No.
The drops were